All right, I think we are ready. Guess what? We are on week 4. That's right. We are now into the 4th week, 4th part. You can call it whatever you want to. It is number 4. 4. 4? 4. It is number 4, and we are on our way to, we're about halfway there, believe it or not. We have about 10 weeks. And so we're on number 4. 5 will put us exactly halfway there. So we are almost halfway there to another beautiful quilt top that you can send off to your long armor, or it could be small enough you could do it on your domestic. And then there are some people that do these huge quilts on domestics. God bless them. I think they're amazing people because I cannot do it. I cannot do a big quilt on a domestic. All right, well, let's get started. We're going to jump right in. So I'm going to take you off the camera. And I'm going to put you back on the tabletop. All right, y'all. So this is what we worked on last week. Ta-da! So you should have a whole bunch of these. I mean, a whole bunch. I think the amount of these was supposed to be like 100. Yes, you should have 100. And I don't even have my paperwork in front of me. I'm so sorry. I guess because my brain is off on vacation today. So you should have quite a few of these, and I believe you needed 100 if I remember my paperwork correctly. This part is actually going to be pretty easy. You're going to take 2 pieces. Does anybody have any questions so far? I mean, I hate to I don't know, I hate to just dive right in. That whole library story was kind of funny. I enjoy that. I mean, it's just, I have such fond memories. I mean, it was hard at first. Living in Hampton, little old Hampton, South Carolina, was hard because it was a small town, and I thought I was from a small town until I actually went and lived in Hampton and found out that no, my town of Braden in Florida was not a small town after all. Small town is Hampton, South Carolina. And they're a Hampton Varnville, kind of like we're Braden and Sarasota, or Sarasota Braden. I know, right? But the 2 borders do kind of meld. You're not really sure. You could be have 1 foot in one town and then a foot in the other town. And Braden and Sarasota is the same way. It's separated by university, but you just don't know. You could have your foot in Bradenton and a foot in Sarasota at the same time. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a 4-patch today. Because I bet you couldn't guess that, huh? We're making a 4-patch. These are very, very simple. Now, the best thing I like is when you ironed to your dark side, like this, sorry, wrong finger. When you ironed it to your dark side, what you've done is you've created a way to nest these seams together, and it really helps for you to be able to line these up to make those points beautiful. And so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to bring this up here to the camera and hopefully hold it steady. And I know it's a little bit out of focus, but as you see here, it's like this. You can take it and you can take the 2 pieces and drop the 2 pieces into place like this. Or you can take your 2 pieces and slide them up till they butt up against each other and they don't pop over the top. And then you're just going to pin. Now, if you pull it back, you can see how those line up so beautifully. Look at that. Just gorgeous. And some of my quilters out there that have a lot of experience, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And some of those of you who are new to this is going to be a technique that you will use over and over again. Now, I always put my pin, I like to put my pin, I don't want to say always, I like to put my pin on the back side because as it's sewing up to it, it's starting to push it, and this is going to keep it from sliding that fabric. Or at least that's the idea. Now, if you're really, you're all about pinning, you're going to pin the other side too. But me, I'm trying to get you out of the sunlight, the light here. I like to put it on one side, and I put it on the back side. All right, now let's bring this over to, I'm going to do one more, and just so I can show you the strip sewing. Chain piecing. Okay, again, if we roll this back here, you can see how it lines right up. If you just nest those seams, and that's what that's called. It's called nesting your seams. Okay. All right, so let's go over here to the other, hopefully working camera. Yep, it's working. Woohoo! All right. So we're going to take it and we're going to do our little 1/4 inch seam. Get my hand out of the way. And we're just going to go straight down. Just like this. Pull my pin. And again, nothing new to y'all. This is how us quilters do it, right? And just stitch right on down. 1/4 inch seam. Make sure you got a beautiful, nice 1/4 inch seam. Okay, I will tell you, do not run over the pin. So do as I say, not as I do. Because y'all know I'm horrible at it, and I do it every time. At some point, I hit a pin. I have a big old pill bottle full, I tell you, of bent pins from where I bent them. All right, so this is what the chained piece looks like. You're just going to do a whole bunch of them at one time, and you really do save time by doing this. If you will chain pin, so pin them all together at once, and then you're going to stitch them all together at once, you know, one right after the other, and now you're going to snip them apart. So let's come back over here. I'm going to take my huge long chain. Let me get my tabletop up here. All right, so here we go. Here's my lovely chained piece. I did a few of them ahead of time before I got on so that we wouldn't have to take a lot of time. Look at all these beautiful 4 pieces. Okay, we're going to snip this off. Snip, snip. All right, snipped it off. All right, and then we're just going to, simple as that. If you don't have one of these, they really are worth it. I have this one. I have this one. I taped it because I lost a magnet. Yeah, so I have several different kinds. I have another one. It does. I have another one that's just a little itty bitty box that has a little razor that's protected at the top. So if a child gets a hold of this, they can't hurt themselves. And the razor's down there far enough. That's really all it is. It's just a little bit of a razor, but it's down there far enough that a child can't really get their finger in there. And this is the big one. This uses a 60-inch blade. I lost the magnet in it, and so rather than throw it away, I taped it, okay? I rigged it. I did. But that's okay because it's still usable. And it uses up my 60-inch blades that would normally wind up in the recycle. All right, so let's get this out of the way. All right, now we're on to the next, in my opinion, important thing. Now, when I finally learned how to do this, I thought, where has this been my whole life? Where has this been my whole quilty life? We're going to take this, we're going to open it up this way, and we're going to spin the center. And how we do that is we take it and we go in opposite directions, just like that. And pop it open until we create this little itty bitty 4 patch right there in the center. Y'all see that? Okay. So you can use your Carson ruler, your Carson wood iron, and bend that down a little bit so that it doesn't pop up on you, and then just give it a nice little press. Now I'm going to move my little friend out of the way here, just because I need this spot. It's one of my granddaughter's toys, and I love having it here because it's very Florida. Very Florida. Okay, let's do one more. We might do a couple more. We're going to pop that open. A lot of times it's just about seeing it done over and over again. You see it once, and that's good, but then you need to see it again. And then when you do it over and over again, it's like, oh yeah, I got this. I got this figured out. Then I'm going to flip that up. So what the wood is doing is the wood is pulling that heat out, but it's holding down those seams as well. And I'm going to show you what that seam looks like in just a minute. Now you don't need 3 of them. One works just fine because it does not take long under the tailor's clapper to get that seam nice and solid on you, okay? And in doing this spinning technique, what you're doing is you're helping to mitigate or even out some of the bulk. Because if you've ever seen where you have to iron to one direction or the other, or even iron open, it will create a lot of bulk right here. So if you spin it, you're moving a lot of these layers in different directions so that there's not a bunch of layers in one spot. So we're going to iron that one too. Okay, that's all we need to iron. We don't need to iron anymore. All right, so we're going to put this over here. Now look at how nice that looks. And it looks so nice and flat. Those seams are not bulked up, they're not bulky. It takes a little bit of extra time, but not much. And the more you do it, the flatter that seam will get. So that, ladies and other quilty friends, because I know we do have some gentlemen quilters out there, that quilty friends is what we're doing today. So when you're done, you should have 50 of these 4 patches. And if you do the little spinny thing on the back, and if you've got something else that you like to do, you know, feel free to do it. Go at it. Have fun. But this is what I do, and this is what I think works. It's not something I created. It's not my secret. It is, if somebody else did it, I don't even know who it started with. But I am more than happy to share what I've learned, and this is what I learned works for me. Helps to keep all those seams going in different directions so that you're not getting a whole bunch of them in one spot. Your long armor will love you. Your sewing machine will love you for not making it work so hard trying to get through this centerpiece. Because trust me, I can hear it. When my long arm machine hits a spot where it's been, you know, built up from all the seams coming together, and you can't help that. There's some projects you just can't help. You can hear it. Bam. Can you show the back again? Absolutely. And that's what the back looks like. And I'll tilt it a little bit to get it away from some of that light. I tried tilting my light up so that it's mostly just hitting my face, but it still gets down here on the table. And Miss Christina, if you need me to do another one, I can do another one. So just open it up with its face down. Okay, there's face up, there's face down. And we're going to grab both sides like this, and we're going to push it down. So what it's doing is it's actually popping the seam between the 2 red sides. It's popping that thread, but you don't have to worry about it because the seam across this center here, the seam right here, is actually what's going to keep that together. Okay, because this is the seam we just stitched right here. Here, let me get my stiletto out. And this is another thing that was made for me by Mr. Carson. So this seam across here is what's going to stop it from coming unraveled. But as we push this open, it's popping the seams right here and here all the way down so that we can iron it the way we need it to be ironed. And I did this a lot for a project for a customer when I did a hexagon quilt for her. And I had to, there was just so many, you know, if you've ever done a hexie, there's a lot of fabric in those Y seams. And I did this for the hexie, and it worked like a charm. And it got those seams down really flat. Well, that and Miss Sheila's iron. Miss Sheila's iron helped a lot. So that really helps to get those seams down. And then you can use a tailor's clapper if you've just got a piece of 2x4. I mean, you'd be surprised, but it is an untreated wood. I do have these for sale. They're like $19.99 plus tax. And you can find them on, I believe I have them on my Etsy site. If I don't, I'll make sure they're on there tonight. And the idea is hopefully by the time I get them to you, they will also have my logo on here as well. But they really do help to make that seam nice and crisp and flat. And those points, because you nested those seams, those points are just beautiful. All right. Now, do you have any questions? Is there any questions you have about this? So you've got a whole week to work on these blocks. You're going to need to make 50 of them. You should have 100 pieces that you can put together and make up these 4 patches. I love these 4 patches. They're just so cute. I know, right? I love these colors. Oh, and Miss Well, Miss Christina, you were actually working with the A and the D fabric, and your D fabric is actually more of a red color. I can't wait to see what that quilt looks like with those colors in there. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well because it's different from this one. I think Miss Ann might have these colors because I think she got my last kit for these colors. All right, guys, how we doing? And we're only 15 minutes in. I think it's a new world record for one of my videos. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to come back up to the camera. See if I didn't know if you noticed, but the quilt behind me is a quilt that I took off of Kate from the last Homely House. She is actually out of the UK. I want to say England? I'm not sure. Anyways, I love watching her, and she did one where it was a lot smaller, and she did all scrappy, and so this was basically scrappy. It was just leftover pieces of strips of jelly roll that I had, and the white fabric was what was left over from a maize quilt I did. Amazing or something like that quilt. So all of this was leftover fabrics. And I finally finished it and I got it up and I thought maybe you'd like to see it. I may have already had it up once, but I just want to get it up there for you. But this is ready to go on the long arm, but I've got quite a bit of work I've still got to do before I can even get to it. But I thought maybe you'd like to see something colorful and entertaining behind me instead of just a blank white wall with threads all over it, which is pretty much how my shirt looks by the end of the day, covered in thread. All right, so I won't keep any longer because I'm really trying to keep this short and not go really, really long. I just want to tell y'all thank you very much for being with me today. I know we have 9 on, but we didn't hardly have anybody stop and say hello besides Miss Ann and Miss Jerry and Miss Christina. And I bet you Miss Claudine is out there somewhere, but she's probably watching football or whatever. Football's not on right now, is it? Whatever sport it is, could be baseball, something. We were talking about that yesterday. I have no idea because I'm just not one of those sports people, you know. But that's okay. It's nice to have diversity in the world, as long as everybody's diverse, not just, never mind. Nope, not going there. Not going there. All right, y'all. Once again, thank you so much for working with me, for being on with me. Don't forget, at the end of my video, I do say a prayer. So if you are ready to jump off, please feel free. But we will continue on to the prayer next. And just thank you again for being with me. Don't forget, YouTube video later tonight. You should have your email if you're in the email list by 10 o'clock tomorrow. And I should also have the next step up on Etsy. So if you're not on the email list, you can go to Etsy and purchase this step on Etsy as well. I will also have the next cutting instructions ready for you, and they will be in that email as well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. You can message me through YouTube. There's always a reply or comment in there. You can reply and comment here. I usually see that pop up on my feed. Or you're welcome to send me an email, which is srqquilter@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. If you have any constructive criticism, I would love to hear from you as well. I mean, I'm always wanting to improve, and everything's a step forward, and I just like keeping pace and keeping those steps going. All right, y'all, here comes the prayer. You ready for me? She watches them all, not my cup of tea. Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. Father, I just thank you for, again, another beautiful opportunity on another beautiful Sunday. On the day of rest, Father, I just thank you for bringing together a whole group of people with the same passion, the same loves, Father. They also, like most of us, have hurts, have needs, have successes, have trials. And we thank you for bringing us through each one of them. We give you all the honor and all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next Sunday, if not before then, because some of you I do see throughout the week. But It has been a blessing, and I wish you many blessings this next week. Mwah.